Ladies and gentlemen, time of year that we have all been waiting for. It is October 30th. Just had a bunch of rain, cold front, all that stuff. It's over now. Temperature's dropping, pressure's rising. Gonna go set up on some scrapes in between some feeding and bedding. Hopefully catch one cruising. Finally stopped raining. We're gonna hurry up and get all of our stuff together and get back in the woods. Got the truck packed up and gonna get it unloaded and get everything together and get walking back in there. It's about 12:30 now. I'd like to be set up around 1:30 or 2. Like I said, I got a bunch of stuff I got to set up in the tree. It's the first time self-filming with all the new camera gear and stuff, so it might take me a little bit. So stick around and we'll see if we can't get in anything. Just got set up. Took me a little longer than I wanted it to because one, it's still raining. It picked back up, so that's the reason why I'm doing an interview on my phone. Ran into some deer on the way in. I seen 2 does and a little it looked like an 8-point. I don't know that I would have shot him, but I didn't get a great look at him either. But it's 2:30, October 30th. I got a scrape over here to my left, about 30 yards. I got a scrape out here in front of me, about 30. Rain's picking up, but it's supposed to stop in the next like 25 minutes or so. So I'll be able to get the big camera out just in case. Hang tight and see anything starts getting on their feet once the rain stops.
October 1st. Dalton shot a really big buck last night in West Virginia. And on our way to track his deer, I got a picture of one of the bucks I'm after here on this property here in town. I'm sure you can hear the traffic in the background. It's pretty close to the highway. So I took a PTO day from work. He came in right before dark. And then he went back here and be to my left. So I don't think he's too far from here. He's a mainframe 8-point with both split G2s. I spooked a doe on the way in. She was basically bedded 5 yards from where my saddle set is. So that was it. Everything else was pretty good. She snorted once and took off. She was really young. So I'm gonna sit here for a while and hope that maybe he can come off this ridge. I'm gonna do some calling and stuff. Maybe try to get him down here. Well, like I said, I don't think he's far from where I am. I may go into work this afternoon, or I may just use the entire day and come back out. I'm not sure yet. So, I guess we'll see. Okay, so that was the buck I was talking about. I think I'm gonna name that buck Jimmy. And the reason why is because the guy we leased this property off of is I work for his company that he started back in the 70s. His name is Jim. And he's basically a legend. So, named that buck Jimmy. That's the first time I've ever got to see him. Had me shaken up pretty good. There was a doe that came in. She kept looking behind her, and I looked back and I seen antlers. And then as soon as he lifted his head up, I knew it was him. He grunted a little bit and kind of chased after her. And then she went down over the hill, and he stopped and ate a little bit. Ate some acorns up on the hill. He was probably about 70 yards away at that point. He started following the doe, started making his way down the hill towards me. And I got my bow and got ready. But I think the closest he got was like 50 yards, and he headed back towards the end of the property. So that is a good sign. The fact that I seen him, I knew he was in here, and I figured he was close because he was on my camera last night at 7 o'clock. So, Lord willing, I can just come out this evening. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer and then sneak out of here. There's a deer back here. Looks like a doe. Yeah, it's a couple does. I'm gonna try to sneak out of here in a little bit. Try not to spook anything. I know he's on the back end of the property. And then, Lord willing, I can come in here this afternoon kind of early and get set up. I may even bring a little bit of corn and see if he can run back through. He was after that doe. It wasn't like he was, you know, trying to breed her. He's kind of pestering her. So, he's huge. He's big. He's bigger in person. Alright, it's about 10 o'clock. I'm gonna get down. I only got about 10% left on my camera, 10% battery. I don't want to put myself in that position where something like that happens. And I'm cold. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm pretty sure he's still back there somewhere. I'm going going to sneak down, try to get out of here quietly, and then come back this afternoon pretty early. Maybe he'll come back. He was here yesterday evening, around about 10 minutes before 7 o'clock. And then he was working his way back the same way he went this morning. So I'm assuming he was kind of running around last night, you know, bumping some does and stuff, which ended him up over on this end. And then obviously he walked by me and kept going back up over the hill. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but my plan is to come back early this afternoon and sit, and hopefully he works his way back down the hill this way this evening like he did last night. We're back in here this afternoon. I'm in the same spot I was this morning. I went in and got some lunch and rested for about an hour and then came back out. Right now it's like 3:30. I'm gonna sit for a little bit, probably half hour to an hour. Then I'm gonna start rattling a little bit. He was this morning, the Jimmy buck, he was pushing that doe, just kind of checking her out. She didn't want anything to do with him, but he was grunting and making all kinds of noise. So I'm gonna rattle and maybe grunt a few times here later. We have decent wind. It's like, it is, you know, there's gusts of like 15 mile an hour, steady, probably 6 or 7 mile an hour. So hopefully he comes down this ridge and we can get a good shot at him on film. guys, here's what happened. This morning, when I saw Jimmy, he went back in here. He started over here on this ridge, walked up here, down here. I needed him to get right here, through here, down to the creek bottom, and then went back there, up on this hill. Well, about 30 minutes ago, he came off this hill with a doe. Wasn't down here, he was more up here. Ran all the way around, up top. Right about here is where I realized it was him. And then he did the same thing, went down, like that, into the ridge, and then walked back. Man, I tried calling, tried grunting at him, and he was back in here. And I called, and he went up this hill right here, circled back around, and now he chased the doe up the hill, that way, all the way back there. Made it out of the woods. I figured I'd do an overview of the day. This morning I came here to our lease property, went to where my saddle setup is, and I finally laid eyes on a buck I named Jimmy. He was up on the ridge to my left, came down with a doe. He was grunting, making a lot of noise, and pestering the hell out of that doe. He ate for about 20 minutes or so. She kind of ran off. He ate a little bit and then worked his way with that doe and took off. So I came back out this evening thinking that maybe the way they went, he'd come back down, because yesterday evening he came and ate some corn, and it looked like he came that way from the camera, from the trail camera. So I got set up thinking he'd come down the way he went in this morning. Had that 9-point come in. He hung out for a little while. I saw another 8-point, small one up on the hill. I think he winded me. But then about half hour, 45 minutes after that 9-point was there, I looked up, I heard deer, I looked up, and there was that doe. And I thought it was another buck, and I was like, man, I've never seen that buck before. And then I got my camera, zoomed in, and it was Jimmy. He was with, I'm assuming, that same doe. We went back and forth for probably 15, 20 minutes. He ran down the ravine kind of after her. I grunted a couple times. He'd look at me. And I thought he was gonna come to me. He went up on the hill and made a scrape and was getting all bristled up and stuff. I thought he was gonna work his way down to me, but he turned around and went back towards her. Then they went up on the other hill. And I thought, like, it was starting to get late, and I was like, I don't know what to do. They came back down, kind of curved down, and then went straight back. And I thought, I'm gonna go ahead and get down. So there was a little bit of light left. So I went ahead and got down. Didn't want to scare him. I didn't want him to come in at night when I was trying to get down or whatever. So I went ahead and got down. But he's all over that doe, and I know he'll, continue to follow her until he's done with her and do whatever. But like I said before, I think it's more pre-rut right now. I think they're bugging the hell out of the does, and obviously I don't think the does are ready, but he's definitely occupied, and he's in there, and he's staying in there. I got a lot of videos of him, trail cam videos and stuff like that. So I'll be back here in the next, I gotta work tomorrow and Friday, and then I'll be back Saturday and Sunday. So hopefully he's still in here. We can lay eyes on him again. Hopefully he presents me a shot. I may move my saddle up towards that ridge he was running. I haven't decided yet. So that's the update. I appreciate you guys watching this episode. We'll keep you in the loop, and we'll catch you on the next one. It's November 5th. Starting to get into that good stuff. I got a bunch of turkeys behind me. Haven't seen any deer yet. So we're just gonna chill, see what happens. so I had that 9 point at 40 yards. Actually, maybe a 10 point. I don't know. He's really thick, though. I definitely would have shot him. But he came up off this hillside right here in front of me. It went down the hill, and I filmed him going down. Then he stopped down in this bottom on 2 does. A doe and a spike. He came off that hill on this side. Came over literally right in front of me. They walked under my tree, but he wouldn't come up the hill. He stopped at 40 yards just staring up here at him. For some reason he wouldn't come up here, so I don't know. I would have shot him. My heart was racing hard. I had my bow in hand. I was ready. So yeah, we're just gonna sit here until probably 9:30 or 10, see what happens. I feel like they're on their feet. I feel like they're moving, so let's do it. It's 2:57. It looks like it's getting dark because the camera is angled weird, but I just got set up at the same spot I filmed that thick 10 point this morning. We're just gonna hang out and chill. I have the perfect wind for this spot, so I'm hoping that 9 or that 10 point comes back. Because I would definitely shoot him or one of the other big bucks, because there's a lot here. There's a lot of big bucks here. So I'm just gonna chill, hang out, enjoy the evening, try not to get annoyed by squirrels. So yeah, let's freaking do it. It's 4:28, and I just got the text that Dad shot one. So me and Mason are deciding whether to get down now or just wait till dark to help go track it. I think Dalton's on his way.
Dalton, do we need to call the dog or did you, dude?
What?
I said, do we need to call the dog or did you already call him?
Dog's on its way.
Yeah, over here.
So maybe got here around, I don't know, 3:30. Walked up there, got in a tree, and I had my coat off when I walked in because it was so warm. So I sat down in the stand 10-15 minutes sitting there, and I was like, man, I'm getting cold. I'm putting my coat on. So I stood up, I turned around and faced the tree. I'm standing there and I'm putting my coat on, zip my coat up. I'm making all kinds of racket. I turned around and he's from here to that first tree, staring at me. He popped up over the knoll while I was putting my coat on.
Saw you moving?
I don't know. So he's standing there and he kind of does this number, and I'm like, oh shit, he busted me out.
Is that when the wind was still kind of blowing good?
Yeah, and the crossbow is leaning on the stand down here. I'm not even holding it. And all of a sudden, he just puts his head down, takes 2 steps over to the corn, starts eating. I'm like,
What the
okay,
hell?
sweet. So I reach over, do this number, and he picks his head up like.
Oh yeah, you
like,
stop.
Ah. He puts his head down, starts eating again. I get the crossbow up a little further. Finally, I just put it on. Put it on him and shot. His main beams are thick. They're kind of heavy. Thank you, sir. But the first thing I saw on him was those crab claws.
Oh.
He's got crab claws on the ends
cool.
of his. So I think it's itchy. But I don't know if it is or not.
Oh, okay.
So we may have a totally
Where's he
different
at?
deer.
Is he dead?
He's down. Oh, he's dead. He crashed.
Okay. I figured he was.
So I shot. He mule kicked. I'm sitting in the stand. I shot him. He mule kicked, trotted this way, and I thought, why is he just trotting? And I look, and there's blood just pumping out of his side. So he runs down over to the hill on the first shelf, stands there, I don't know, 30 yards behind me. And all of a sudden, I hear him starting to wheeze. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna die. So 30 seconds goes by, and he takes off just like on a death run down over the hill, and then I hear him crash. So, and then when he crashed, the funny thing was, when he crashed, another deer come off the top of the hill down to where he was at, running. I don't know if that was a buck that thought he was chasing or something.
Like the sound of another
But then when he got close enough to him and saw him dead, he snorted and ran back up the hill. So. I gotta hit this kind of hard, so y'all chill.
Dude, this bar is nice. Dad was in this stand right here. Got a corn pile. Where's your arrow at?
Down over the hill.
Let's go. Got that luminant glowing.
All the way to the bottom too.
So he fell.
Oh, that's freaking. Oh, that's
Oh yeah.
That's him. That's itchy.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, I love the crap. Look, I love how that curls in.
I know.
Lord, that's sweet.
That rage gripped him up.
Yeah.
That's coming out. No, that would be going in.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a stud.
Them bases.
Oh yeah.
Gnarly. Now you see why I shot him.
His entire. Yeah, I was gonna say his entire rack's heavy. This is awesome.
I know.
Yeah. That's a dandy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got in the stand about, I don't know, Todd, what time was that at your place? 3:30? Yeah. Probably got in the stand about 10 till 4. No, had to be earlier than that. But anyway, I got in the stand and I come up the hill with my coat off because it's so warm. And I was in the stand about 10 or 15 minutes. I started to get cold, so I stood up and faced the tree and put my coat on and zipped my coat up and everything. Turned back around, this guy was 18 yards staring at me. So I just froze, and eventually he put his head down, and I just eased the crossbow up, and he's fascinated there with that corn, and I shot him. He mule kicked real good and ran down over the hill here. Didn't go, what, 50 yards, 60 yards?
All adrenaline.
Yep. And that's pretty much it. It's fun chasing him, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's
All the
I think
trail cam pictures.
I was gonna say, I think it's cool you got history with him too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Got him.
How did you change?
Oh, I get dressed when I go before I get.
Itchy's dead, bud.
Hey, good job. Man, look at that body on him. Yeah, he's huge. Man, his horns ain't gonna pop off, are they?
Too early for that.
Hey, check his top teeth on him now.
Yeah, there's just like
think
zero
he
top
has
teeth. Jeez. Yeah, he has
I
nothing.
think he's 4.5, 5 years old. Maybe.
I don't know. Andrew thinks he's older than that.
You think so, Andrew?
He's got gray.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Starting that Roman nose. I think he's.
Look at his bottom ones. I saved a thing on my phone and it talked about deer teeth.
Yeah, I did too.
I did.
Levi.